tunesjam.com.
Good afternoon. From the desk of Ris Properties, today we'll be discussing land titles. Yes, buy properties without even really knowing if that property has a good land title. They just go ahead and buy property, and after 10-15 years they will realize that this same property is committed lands. So today I'll be discussing the different types of titles, and this is going to help you in making decisions while acquiring property in anywhere in Nigeria. Before now, all property belongs to individuals, but since the Land Act of 1978, all land belongs to the government. This gave power to the government to own all lands. So what does this mean? This means that the government control all land issues. Then you have classification of land. We have freehold land, we have acquired lands. So under acquired lands, we have committed lands. These committed lands are land that the government have mapped out for major projects in the state. So if you are buying property and unfortunately you buy committed land, even if you build on that land, after 10-15 years, the government will come after you. So that's why it's very important that you conduct your due diligence before purchasing any property anywhere in Nigeria. Then we look at acquired land. Acquired land, these are the land that the government have acquired either for maybe future purposes. They've not really specifically mapped out projects for this particular set of lands. Look at Excision. The ancestral owners will now apply to the government for them to release some portion of land for them. Once a land has Excision, what it means that the government have released some portion of land to the ancestral owners. So the ancestral owners, they are now free to sell this land. And when you buy such land, you are covered. The land is covered because it's no longer under government acquisition. So look at the second one, which is Gazette. So once a portion of land have passed through the process of Excision, the next step is that the government will now publish in an official journal called Gazette. So what they are trying to do, they're not trying to inform the public that so total parcel of land which was under their acquisition is now released to the ancestral owner. So they are informing the public by publishing it. So this parcel of land will now be gazetted. So the parcel of land, once you see a land that has a title called Gazette, so it means that the government have officially announced to the public that some portion of land has been released to the ancestral owners. So look at the next title, which is C of O. So C of O gives you ownership of the property for a period of 99 years. So once the land has passed through this process, Excision has been gazetted, the next document is C of O. So maybe if you bought a property that has Gazette, you can process it to have a title called C of O. Land that you purchase that has C of O. So be rest assured that any issue with the government in the nearest future. So we'll go to the next one, which is governor's consent. When you purchase, maybe if you purchase a property from a developer that has C of O, the C of O will not be issued to you again. What will be given to you is governor's consent. Because if you have a C of O, if you want to transfer ownership to another person, you have to inform the government that CEO, you have given me C of O in this property, but I want to resell it to another person. So the next person you are transferring the property to will be given governor's consent. We have government allocation. Government allocation is also part of land title. So this one is when you acquire property directly from the government. So when you purchase any property directly from government, maybe for example, those land that government acquired, maybe for industrial purposes, for residential purposes, they can sell. Maybe if you want to go into industry, maybe if you want to build a company, you can walk up to the government. If you explain what you want to do, if it's in line with what they want to use that particular parcel of land for, they can sell some portion to you. So when they sell that some portion to you, what they will give you is government allocation. Then some developers too, they do work up to government. If what they want to do, what they want to build there aligns with government's purpose for acquiring such land, government will approve and give them some portion of land. So once these developers buy directly from the government is going to give them land document called government allocation. So it's always good that if you want to acquire any property anywhere in Nigeria, you try as much as possible to know the documents that this property has, so that you will not go ahead to buy property that is committed or that the government have already acquired. Because once you do so, even if you build on that land, even if you develop on that land, in the nearest future, the government will always come after you. If you have any further questions, kindly call Ris Properties.